What is good? If you're listening to this thing, then thank you. The support I've received already is really cool, so I do really appreciate those of you tuning in and checking this thing out. This is kind of a longer episode. I'd only really planned on about 30 minutes or so, but I really felt like a lot of what my friend Jonnie had to say here was important, fun, and just kind of generally just funny. So we talk about his upbringing, where music came into play into his life, and some of the more behind the scenes stuff that a lot of people don't really realize goes into making music. But yeah, so without holding you up too much longer, here's my interview with my good friend from the Filthy Kids and JustJonnie Music, Jonnie Garcia.
Yo,
What's good, bro?
it's chilling, man.
Hell yeah, that's what's up,
Yeah, man.
dude.
Came
Thank.
to the studio.
Say that again.
Oh no, just came to the studio for better aesthetics.
Yeah, yeah, right. I know. I just got like my dirty office with like my cat box in the background and shit like that. So,
No, I was hoping to get a cat box for the studio, but just didn't work out for today.
I'll hook it up. I'll hook it up.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, dude, thanks again for agreeing to do this and agreeing to be like my guinea pig, I guess.
Yeah, man. Dude, I'm stoked. I'm stoked, man. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, me
It's gonna
too.
be. I'm excited, and I know it's gonna just take off, dude. Super excited, and thanks for thinking of me, man, for the first one.
Dude, yeah, like I said, I just wanted to like, especially for the first few, like people I know and like people I know will be like good to talk to and so forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, well, all right. So you're kicking it in the studio, but dude, I want to say congrats on the album release for JustJonnie.
Oh,
Super
thanks, dude.
dude, yeah, super sick. Like I said, Toxic is like fucking stuck in my head if I'm being last couple days now. So I'm like, shit. Like now I'm super fanning over here, but
That's super dope, man.
yeah, so fuck it. Let's jump in, dude. Let's talk about that a little bit. So what was the process like? I mean, where did it come
You
about?
know, yeah, what's crazy is that I had been sitting on that music for a minute. So I have the Just Johnny project, which I started before the Filthy Kids. And I broke the Filthy Kids broke off of an EP that I had with the Just Johnny project. So I've been on the Just Johnny stuff for a bit, but then the Filthy Kids just kind of like took off a little bit more. But this record, I've released other Just Johnny music after creating these for Summer's Over.
Yeah.
So like I had been sitting on it for a while, but it was just like that style that you hear. It's a little bit of it's weird, man. It's like hard to describe my style with Just Johnny because it's a blend of different things.
Yeah.
And if anyone's familiar with like any of my work, you're gonna know that I do all kinds of stuff, and I love just hopping to from one style to another. So it's like yeah, pretty eclectic in that sense. So this was a little bit of dance hall beats, but I'm not like a dance hall artist. It's just
Yeah.
the beat is that, but it's very much like very simple songwriting. I like simple. For me, it's more catchy. And I it's like a thought, and then it just yeah, I just kind of run with that thought. You know what I mean? Like so this project, yeah, I think there's like 6 songs. They all have like a different point of inception, different reasons, different like relationships that kind of like feed into each one, or different experiences. Sometimes it's just like a thought, or other times it's like a blend of different things I've experienced. So
Yeah, dude. No, yeah, like I said, super sick. Congrats again, man. I'm really digging it so far. And I feel like, yeah, you're totally right. I feel like your Just Johnny stuff is like super like just a wide range and it like keeps shit fresh. You know what I mean?
yeah, so fresh, dude, that my lights just turned off, bro.
Oh shit.
I have like sensors in the we have sensors in the studio, man. So I might have to do this. It's chill though, man. Um,
Just get
yeah, I
a
had to get up to turn on the lights. Thought I was dead or something, but
taking a nap. He's like, man, this podcast is fucking boring, dude. Oh man, yeah, you'll have to excuse me. I'm kind of darting back and forth because I have a shitload of notes. That's why I'm like, hopefully we can get it all in time, but we'll see.
oh yeah, man. Yeah, I can talk forever, man. So let's get your the things, the points you want to get across, man. But But what were you saying, dude? My bad. The lights.
Oh no, no, I was just saying, right? Like your like wide range of like style that you do have. Because right, I listened to like other stuff. Like I was listening to like Ice Cream. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing. And I was like,
That's dope.
dude, it is. It's such like a wide range that you got that it's like it does, right? It's just like it keeps it like fresh and like you know.
Yeah, and I like to hop from project to project too, because sometimes I'm really feeling the just Johnny stuff, and I'm like, man, I want to write a record in this,
Yeah.
I don't know, like indie hip hop style,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then I'll be like, well, I want to create like there's another little random project that I started. It's called The Red. I haven't released anything. I've shown maybe like one person or two,
Yeah.
maybe, which is a different genre altogether. I think it's a little bit more like electronic goth type.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it's just different. But I really it's funny because something that for me it's like I really feel like I am whatever type of music I put out. It's not like poser, like oh let me try to copy. Like it just flows out of me, so it
Yeah,
is like genuine for me. So it's not like
yeah.
oh let me just hop on a bandwagon or something. It's like I just feel like if I can make it, so I make all my instrumentals pretty much. Like I just just create the beats, the instrumentals. I like a lot of other people's work, but for whatever reason, I just find it so much easier to create. The music itself already says something, so I just the words just kind of match with whatever I was feeling with the music. So
Yeah. Yeah, I feel it. And like, I feel like I kind of do the same thing. Like you and I, we were talking the other day, and like somebody like Matt Correct is who's huge for me. You know what I mean? That dude, like, same thing. Like every album that guy's written has been different from the last. You know what I mean? And
yeah, yeah,
like I'm a different guy today than I was yesterday. You know what I mean?
yeah, and you have new stories to tell, so the music just carries that
Right.
too.
Right.
Like literally, as we're wrapping up the new Filthy Kids record, like literally, I'm at the studio working on the drum tracks because that's the last piece that we had. It's kind
Yeah.
of backwards from what a lot of people do in the studio. Like you
Oh,
start
yeah.
with drums, you
Yeah.
add, but we did a little bit differently. I just work a little different, and so finishing that up, and as we're wrapping this up, I'm like, I want to write some new stuff that's on a different vibe, like so we have it's gonna be like 12 songs, but whatever we write next, I already have like different inspiration for that, so I know it's gonna go different.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm the same, right? Like, shit, we've been playing shows for like 6 months now, and I'm already like, I'm over these songs. I want to do something different.
Which is crazy, man, because yeah, nothing special. I'm like, when I first saw you guys, we played a show together, and I was like,
Yeah.
dude, these guys got it. Like they got like the right combination of everything. Oh, I was chatting with Jason, our drummer, and
Yeah.
we're both in agreement, dude. You can't cut your hair. That's something that we say. We said. I told him I'm gonna mention it to Cameron. I was
I
like,
got bad news, dude.
are you gonna cut it?
Oh, 1000%. Dude, it's like one of those things. I'll be like chilling on the couch, like watching a movie, and then like I don't know, I'll get a text or something, or I'll hear my phone go off, and I have it sitting on the coffee table, and I'll like look up at it, and it like my head just gets like stuck. I'm like, oh god, I got to lean forward, or like it gets caught
Yeah.
in the seatbelt and shit, and like so annoying, so annoying. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, that's hilarious, dude. But no, I mean, just like with nothing special, like the vibe, the music is great, the recording is great. So like sometimes bands can be really dope live, but then the recording kind of lacks, or the other way around. But
Yeah.
you guys just have it all, dude. And I'm like, I was really impressed from the first time, and then the second show that we played together too. I was like, this music really has some weight. So although you're probably tired of it, like the guys you guys have been, practicing the same thing and just like playing the same thing, same sets. But so many people haven't heard it, and it's gonna be fresh. And it's great though that you can still move on and create new things.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have some folks, dude, that just come across that first record and they're gonna be like, I want to hear these live.
Damn, that's a really cool perspective. I've never thought of it like that because, like, I can't tell you how many times I come across somebody and I'm like, oh, I want to check out their first album or whatever. Like it'll be like a new release or whatever. And then I go back to something from like, I don't know, 2015 or something like that. I'm like, yo, this is fucking sick. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
like you said,
yeah,
it's new to me, even though it's
yeah,
news to them. I've never really
yeah.
thought like that. That's sick, dude.
I
That's
that's
like,
how it's funny. That's how some of my favorite bands I discovered they were like on maybe like let's say record number 3 or 4,
yeah,
but I wanted to hear the first record, and I was like, man, this is like it gives you a different perspective of like where they were musically and even with like the recording styles and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I feel like when people go into the deeper cuts, then they really rock with you. You know, like
that's
it's
fair.
like the new stuff's cool and it might be really good for sure. But so yeah, I feel like folks will really vibe with you guys.
Well, shit. All right. So you're in the studio now. So where is you're in Sacramento, right?
Yeah, Sacramento. So it's called All of You, None of Me. Actually, yeah, All of You, None of Me Records up there.
Oh, sick.
It's or not records, studio, but All of You, None of Me. So this is a dope spot, man. So Mission, who's on a few tracks with me,
Yeah.
he's
Yep. I
yeah,
reckon.
Mission. So he's a dope rapper, good friend. He's on Ice Cream, he's on 16-bit, and he's on Mosh Pit. So he's on those three.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's super dope, man. Like he just recently released a record in November, I think, of last year,
Okay.
and it went crazy. So and I'm just chatting about him because he has a real big part of like my music
Mhm.
journey. Yeah, his record went crazy. Like one of the tracks has been played by like the NFL, a bunch of NFL teams, a
Yeah.
bunch of like LeBron James, Nike.
Yeah.
Um,
Sick.
dude, it just went crazy. Like a
Mhm.
Taco Bell commercial, like it's just dope. I mean,
Taco
he's
Bell.
just like super legit, man. So this studio was actually his vision. So he had this like really strong feeling to like or leading to create a studio space where we could teach. He brought me on the team on this vision basically where he wanted to have a space where we can teach inner city kids how to like record, mix, master. So All of You Know Me is actually a record label, but also a nonprofit. So we run a nonprofit, and so we partner with a few with the Sacramento Youth Center. We partner with like a charter school, and they use us as an elective basically. So we're like working on our own projects, just doing our thing, but we're also like teaching and instructing and you know giving an opportunity for some like younger folks to learn from us from our experiences. And so missions, like All of You Know Me is his tagline. So when he before he like he you know spits a verse or whatever, he'll say All of You Know Me, and then he goes into it. So that's kind of how it started. So it's been really cool, man. This studio space, we've been here since 2022. It was crazy because we with Mission, like he had this vision to like launch it. So we didn't have a space at all. This was like November 2021 or something where he kind of like shot me the vision, and I had no Mission for a while. I met him when he was first starting off his rap career, and I was doing a different project, and so we just have been rocking for a minute. And yeah, 2021 he had the vision. We launched the campaign to raise $30,000 to like get started,
Oh no.
and within like by January we had the 30K to start it up. So which is super dope, man. I mean, it was like a true blessing to have people like invest and
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
donate. Like that's a lot of money to just be like, hey, we don't have anything, but we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
But you know, we did it. It's a lot of work, you know, but we love it. And so yeah, we have the studio set up for definitely like the hip hop stuff. All of Mission's like latest works have been studio. So yeah, I hope folks check him out. Mission. He's got a lot of dope music. The last record he put out is called Second Wind. Really good recording. So if you hear those recordings, it's all done here at All of You Know to Me.
That's
The Filthy Kids, all the Filthy Kids music has been here at All of You Know to Me recordings, including the new record. So it's just a really dope space, man. We just like anything that I own musically, you know, I bring it here. It's chilling. It's we put it to use, man. We're all about it.
that's so cool, man. Yeah. So 2022, huh? Damn. So that's I don't know why I
Yeah.
imagine it was longer than that. I don't know why. I
Yeah, no, I mean for the studio here that at that time, but yeah, I think that we all have like our different like music projects and stuff like that that we've been I don't know doing for different periods of time. But yeah, man, so this is actually oh yeah, so Mission when he first had me join with like All of You Know to Me, it was basically to come in like as a producer slash like media because I do video stuff too. So
uh,
not as like an artist or anything like that because I wasn't making music at that time. Although I had made music before, I wasn't really doing much. And then one day he's like, "Hey man, why don't you just like put out music through All of You Know to Me?" And I was like, yeah, maybe I should. And then like it started the Just Johnny project basically.
Yeah.
So I just started creating some stuff and I just ran with it, man. So he really just that little spark, a simple conversation. It wasn't like this long, inspirational thing, but it was just that.
Yeah.
And then it just kicked it off and then like it sparked up, dude, and it just became a flame and I was just like just cranking out music like
Yeah.
just all the time.
That's sick, man. Yeah. So, okay. So it's in Sacramento. So were you born in Sacramento or somewhere in North?
No, yeah. I was born in El Salvador, so like
Oh, shit. Okay.
Central America. I came over to the US when I was 6. So yeah, man, it's a whole journey and lived in SoCal for a few years and then moved to Sacramento. So I'm not a Sacramento native, but I mean this is really
That's how,
where I spend, you know, I
yeah.
mean my life. But I'll go down to SoCal to visit family and stuff like that. And yeah, just but Sacramento is definitely like the spot where I'd say we're just based out of. So for sure, the studio, the Filthy Kids, yeah, all of that, man.
That's sick, man. So, all right. So El Salvador, huh? That's
Yeah, dude.
sick. I don't
It's
think
a
I've ever met somebody from El Salvador. So,
Really? Oh, dude. So you probably haven't had pupusas then. Pupusas is the meal. It's like our main like dish, you could say. It's super simple. I say super simple because I don't make it, but it's it's probably like difficult to make.
yeah.
Um, but dude, you gotta have like I don't know if you ever go to San Francisco, but there's a bunch
Okay.
of Okay, so
Fine.
I'll send you an address for one, dude. So good. I mean. It's I have to tell people that if they've never heard of El Salvador, I'm like, okay, you haven't tasted these, but they're addicting, dude. They're so good. It's basically like a masa tortilla, but like a thicker one, like round, filled with like I don't know, beans, cheese, or sometimes like different like meat, like pork or something. But
Yeah.
it's fire, dude.
You know what? This is gonna make me sound like such like a fucking bozo, but like actually, I think I have had them from Costco. So I mean, not like legit, but I think I get the
Yeah,
gist.
yeah,
But no,
yeah,
I
yeah. But yeah, I'm homies with the drummer. Well, he's got a band called. Now they just switched their name to Like Glass, I believe, but Neptuna Run, and he's the singer guitar player of Neptuna Run, or now Like Glass. But he's also the drummer for Pity Party Girls Club. So I actually saw them at bottom of the hill in San Francisco, and I
uh,
was like, oh, these dudes are dope. So connected with him. We did a few. I brought him up to Sacramento and Fresno, so we did some stuff, some shows. Yeah, they're super dope. But yeah, neck of the woods, man. It's a dope venue.
yeah,
San Francisco just has a bunch of dope spots for sure.
for sure, dude. Yeah,
Food and music, man. Arts.
yeah. So you're in El Salvador. So like, give me a little more about like your background. Like, I guess like what kind of kicked off like your like desire and like love for music? Like, were your parents super into music growing up, or like, where did that come from?
Dude, that's a great question, and I love sharing this story because I had no interest in music at all. So there's like three things
What?
that I've been interested in like since I was a kid. One was drawing. So when I was a kid, like I wanted to be a cartoonist, I wanted to be a comic book artist. Like I just love drawing. But then I got into high school, and then I kind of lost my passion for art and my creativity. I felt like it wasn't all there.
Yeah.
I got into football, believe it or not. I was like
Okay.
really super into football.
Hell
And
yeah.
then after high school is when I got into music, which is like crazy. So like didn't grow up listening to any music. Like I didn't own any music. I basically just heard whatever my dad had on the radio or whatever. So like grew up a lot of like classic rock type stuff or random other types of music. But then my older brother, he had a buddy who left a bass guitar at our house. And
Mm,
we had just bought my younger brother a drum set. My younger brother too, he lives in Texas, but he's a beast of a drummer. Then he like moved on to like piano, guitar. Like, he just does everything. So this is the thing. I didn't know that music was in our blood, basically.
uh,
Like it was from I kid you not, dude. Like the first time that I grabbed a bass guitar that my brother's buddy left, I had to like flat on my lap. I was like with my thumb like holding down the string. I didn't know like how to do nothing, but I just felt this connection, dude. It was like so electric, and I was like, I felt like I want to do this. Like I had no idea, but
dude,
that's
feel
what
that
like
coming
it
through
really like resonated,
yeah.
huh?
No, I was saying you feel that bass coming through the amp, and you're just like, whoa, you know what I mean?
Oh, dude, and that's the thing. There was no amp. It was just
Oh,
literally just
what?
an electric bass. It's like on my lap. I just plugged it
Uh-huh.
And I don't know what it was, but I was like, this is dope. So the very next day, I went to like Guitar Center and bought a little bass and a little amp. And then that first week, we were just like me and my younger brother. We just got in the garage, and my dad had this like little karaoke machine,
Yeah.
and we recorded the very like we were recording on that machine like our very first music. It was like trash. My stuff was trash. My brother was dope. He's just like a little like I don't know like what do you call it like a prodigy almost. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say like prodigy, but like he's really good. He was like excellent. So yeah, man, we were into like pop punk. That's how we started, and I just wanted to play fast and loud,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so that's how I started, dude. Just jump right into that. It's
So
kind
are
of
your
crazy.
siblings in any bands, or
Have I what?
are your siblings in any bands or anything?
Oh, no. My older brother, he actually played guitar for a little bit, just like practicing and but he never joined anything. I was the first to join a band, but actually me and my younger brother, we started kind of when we were creating music. We started some music, but we never like launched anything. We recorded it, but we never like put anything out. But then me and him later on started a band called Hollywood Hills. So
Mhm.
you could find that on like Spotify and Apple Music and stuff like that.
Right
It's
that.
Hollywood Hills. All the um all the vowels are X's. So like
Oh,
HX, like it's all random. But so we put out 3 songs for that EP. It was like a self-titled EP, but we stopped. And there's also a music video on YouTube that we did for a song called Blue Psalm. So I'd say it's like all alternative rock. It's not like fast. It's just a little. I don't know. You could just hear it and kind of get an idea. Yeah. So me and him, that was the only thing that we did together where we actually put something out.
and
He never joined. Oh, he actually he drummed for a band, huh?
uh-oh. Shit, sorry, my stuff just cut out for a
Oh, I
second.
think it froze maybe.
Oh, maybe. No, I was just gonna ask. So really, so
Oh, gotcha.
project, were you playing bass or or did you already jump on vocals by that point? Or
For Hollywood Hills?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
For Hollywood Hills, I did vocals, played the guitar, the bass for the recordings.
You
I
know,
also had another buddy jump on guitar for like another part of the guitar, and then my brother was on drums.
yeah,
But we didn't play it live. We like basically just recorded it, and we were gonna start doing shows and stuff like that.
yeah,
Ended up not, but yeah. So I'm really hands on, and I recorded the project, so I do like audio engineering and stuff like that. So I love it all, but I really have a passion for also like recording, producing, stuff like that. Just
yeah,
the whole picture. Because when I first started doing the playing bass, soon after that I bought an acoustic guitar, then I bought an electric. I just wanted to know everything because
yeah.
I had zero musical background, like nothing. But I was just like, I just want to learn it all. And so I just picked up. So I know a little bit of a few things, but I'm not like excellent at any. But I love putting stuff together. Like the composition is like where it's at for me.
Yeah, no, that's super sick, man. Yeah, I wrote down that Hollywood Hills. I'm gonna have to check. And what was the other one? I'm gonna check them both out.
Hollywood Hills. The other project that I was in, actually, the other bands that I was in, we didn't record.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said they were on YouTube. My bad.
Oh yeah, yeah. So Hollywood Hills.
Hollywood
If
Hills.
yeah, there's a song called Blue Psalm.
Oh, okay. I think that's what I heard.
Yeah, yeah, that one's on YouTube. We just shot a video. We actually shot 2 music videos, one on a Friday in San Francisco and one on a Saturday the next day in Santa Cruz. But the one in Santa Cruz I didn't release just
Uh-huh.
for various reasons. But one of them is that the gimbal that we had that the person who was filming had like it basically just died, and so like some of the shots were a little like not great.
Yeah.
Uh, so I just decided not to. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was a fun weekend, man. Just doing creative stuff. It was chill.
That's super sick, man. Sorry, I keep darting back and forth. I'm looking at my notes. I'm like, oh wait, did I ask that one? Yeah, I got that one.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. It's,
Uh, but yeah, so let's go back into the Filthy Kids a little bit. So like, give me like the lineage of it. So like, I guess how did it like first come into play, and like at what point did the other guys, right? Because I've met Scotty and I think I've met Jason once.
kind of like the how it all started. I was doing the Just Johnny project. The idea of Just Johnny was basically I'm gonna make any kind of music that I feel like doing.
Right.
So that's what's Just Johnny. It's like whatever comes out, comes out. Like you're gonna, whatever. So I had a project that I felt like doing like a punk like EP. So I did 2 punk songs and 1 ska track. The little EP is called Prozac Punk Rock, and And I did that, and it kind of confused Spotify because it's like, oh, well, like the algorithm, like who do we promote this to? Kind of like you have this indie hip hop stuff, you have like these other types of styles, and then all of a sudden you have a punk project. So then I was like, dude, I got to break this off into its own thing because it felt great to get back into like the roots of just straight rock or whatever, like pop punk, and um, so then I decided to create a band off of that, and I started writing the first Filthy Kids EP. I don't think I had the name for the Filthy Kids yet, maybe, and I just started writing it, and then I chose the name at some point. But so wrote the first record is just it was just me, but I knew that I wanted to have like start a band and like have people join.
Yeah.
And Javi is our bass player. Javi, he actually played bass for me at a show that we played like at the Capitol, at the state Capitol. It was like an outdoor event thing,
Oh, that's
and I performed some just Johnny tracks. But then we also performed the Prozac Punk Rock EP. So I had Javi on bass, my friend JJ, who played guitar for this. He later joined the Filthy Kids, so I'll bring him back into the loop. And then Nando, who played drums. Nando's a singer of a super dope ska band. They're called La Noche Oscura, and they're like fourth wave ska. JJ, the guitar player, and him, like they're part of that band. So that was the band. It was those three guys and myself.
yeah.
So Javi, the bass player, I knew that I wanted to bring him back when I started like this Filthy Kids project, and so I hit him up. I'm like, hey bro, I'm starting this project, and it'd be dope if you want to join. And he did. He came out, so it was just me and him for a while, dude. It was like just practicing the songs that I had written. They're super simple, so he learned them really quick, and we were just like, all right, now we got to find a drummer. Had a buddy, or not a buddy, but I met a dude who I probably found him like on Instagram actually. So Glenn, he's a dope drummer from he was in a few other bands, but right now he's in the Honesty. So the Honesty pop
Very
pop
familiar.
punk,
Yeah.
yeah, super dope. So he jammed with us for a little bit, but he was also really busy with a few other bands. So then he ended up like stepping out. But he's super dope, and that band is really good too.
Yeah.
Then I was like, dude, drummers are hard to find, dude. It's like, where do these guys live? Where do they?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. But I hit up so then Jason, our drummer, I knew he knew how to drum, like, but he wasn't a drummer per se. I
Yeah.
actually produced him. He was a rapper who
Uh,
had produced some time before. Like I produced like a record for him and another guy that I was producing at the time. And I knew he played drums. I was like, dude, I needed to come out of retirement on drums because he just hadn't played in forever. So, dude, he came out and he's just a cool dude. We've known each other for a while, so it just was great because personality wise, just like work ethic wise, he's great, and he's just yeah, little by little, just started getting back into the groove of things, and so it was us three, and then so that's what when you see some of like the first Filthy Kids EP, the record cover is me and Javi. Then the next one that we have is me, Javi, and Jason. And soon after that, we added Nate on guitar. Okay, take a step back. When it was just the three of us, I was playing bass and Javi was on guitar, or Javi was on bass and I was on guitar. So we would like swap instruments, mid set as we're practicing or whatever. And so then I met Nate, and he's the one of our guitar players. He's the dude who plays the guitar behind his back. You'll see pictures of him and stuff like that on IG, or you'll see him play with us. But so he joined, and then it was like, great. I don't have to be standing and just playing in front of a microphone because well, you've seen me perform, you've seen us perform, and I love to move around,
yeah.
jump
That
off
was
of
the
things, and
conversation you and I have had where we both feel the same way, where it's like, because there was a little bit where I was playing drums and I got booted because literally everybody was much better than I was. And then for a minute, before Jason and Mike joined, I can't remember who I was playing with, but I hopped on bass for a minute, and so I was doing a little bit of that. And then my buddy was like, "Oh yeah, like why don't you just play bass and sing?" And I was like, "Nah, fuck that. I don't want to do that." I was like, I
yeah.
want to move around, I want to do crazy shit."
Yeah, dude. I can't picture you like just standing there with an instrument, man. It's too good. Like you got the energy, you move around, like that's where it's at, man. I feel like it's great. There's a lot of really great bands, obviously, that are proven to be great, and they they go and sing on the mic.
Yeah.
The energy is just different when like the front man is moving around.
And really quick, that's just one thing I gotta throw in there is like for people who have not been to a Filthy Kids show, like your stage presence is like insane, dude. Like honestly, like unmatched. Like at the level that like these bands are at right now, it's like no disrespect to any of the other bands, but like you guys for sure like have the stage presence. It's insane. It's insane.
Dude, that's awesome. That's great to hear, man. So I was excited to have Scotty join, who like joined right after Nate,
Okay.
for that reason, because like he actually I met him through Light the Way, who or another pop punk band in Sac. They're buddies, really cool. I shot a few music videos for them, so those will be out soon. They're about to drop a record. Man, I wish I remember Expel, maybe. I don't know, super dope sound at one of their shows, and he just hit me up with, "Hey, dude, if you guys need like another like guitar player at any time, man, just let me know." And I was like, right then and there, I was like, "Just come out to one of the practices, dude." And he came out,
Show
and
up.
his stage presence is dope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, like he's there's a really dope picture I think at like the boardwalk. He's like super high in the air, and it's like it was just like a super dope shot. But yeah, dude, so stage presence for me is like that's the when you record, it's like you want to give folks the best audio experience.
Yeah.
When you perform live, you want to give them the best visual experience.
Dude, yes, 1000%. I can't tell you how many times I've been to a show where I'm like, I don't know, beforehand, maybe I checked out the band and I was like, oh, yeah, those guys are pretty cool. But then after the show, I'm like, yo, those guys are fucking sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Totally.
And
Like, I'm so convinced that like stage presence is like the number one factor.
yeah, because you could vibe with the band that maybe has like less than type of like recording quality, but
Yeah, yeah,
if you
yeah.
see them live and they're just like nuts, you're like, yeah, these dudes, yeah, I rock with these guys because
Yeah.
the energy. Because it's like whatever you feel with music, I feel like if you can display what you feel, is just a different connection point,
Yeah.
right? Because like in the crowd, like if you're in the pit or something and you're like, man, this is what I feel with this music, it's just like this crazy energy.
Yep.
Well, if the band is doing the same thing and they're just like, this is what I feel, then it's just like it generates this ball of energy and it just goes insane. It's
Yeah.
just
It's so true. Cause like how many like I don't know like how involved in like the hardcore scene you are, but like that's like I feel like totally a thing. Like you can listen to like a shitty demo from some like hardcore band. And I feel like that's like a thing, right? If you're in a hardcore band, you have to just have like a really shitty demo.
most likely. Right, right.
But like you know, like you listen to the demo, you're like, oh, I think that sounded kind of cool. And then right, you go and you see them live and you see like everybody just like thrown down in the pit or whatever, and you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, that dude's doing fucking cartwheels. Like
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Exactly. That's
Um,
that's the energy. I was in a band called Stars Are Falling, and
okay.
that was like a melodic hardcore band.
Mhm.
And so that was kind of like the most of that crazy adrenaline. Like I would climb up on the like our bass player had a like an 810 cab on for his bass amp, and then I would climb on top of that, and I would like just do a drop kick in the air. Like super, I was like I could have broken my leg on the way down. Like so many things, but the adrenaline was insane, and it was yeah, it was just crazy. Like one of our guitar players, we played a show like in Santa Cruz at this one like club thing, and he was just so into it. There's a little window next to the stage,
Yeah.
and mid set he punches through it, cuts his hand. And it's
Oh,
like, what are you doing? But like the energy that it was generating is just like it gets you like out of your mind a little bit.
yeah.
Um,
I
but
mean,
it was dope, man.
like people who are starting bands maybe don't do that. But that being
Yeah,
said, that is a memorable moment for anyone who is at that show.
yeah. I mean, he had to pay for it, but it was great memory. So,
Shit.
dude, just to get back to the lineup because I
Yeah.
missed a few guys.
Mhm.
So, Javi, Jason, Nate, then Scotty. But the first record, the "Cross My Heart, Hope to Die" is the name of the EP. It has synth, which is kind of what the sound choice. I just wanted something different. It doesn't quite fit into like pop punk. It
Yeah.
doesn't quite fit into like indie, but it's just like indie pop rock is the best way that I could describe it.
Yeah.
Because it's still poppy, but it's not as organic as indie. So we had the synth that we needed to like. We need somebody to play this, and we started with backtracks, and I was like, oh man, it's like feeling like too locked into a click track. It's just like didn't feel right. Then I knew JJ. I've known him for a while, and his brother AJ, who like his whole family, they're super dope, really great. They've helped us with a lot of stuff. So JJ again, he's a guitar player and in the band La Noche Oscura. I was like, bro, it'd be awesome if you could like join us, you know what I mean? And he was able to. He moved up closer to he moved up to like Stockton basically, so he was closer from where he was at in Slow. So he joined and started playing synth for us. So he was able to hop on the first show with us and just rock with us for quite a while till summer. Yeah, so he joined, and then Scotty moved, man.
I know,
Unfortunately, Scotty moved.
man.
Yeah, dude, he's out. He moved out of state, but super dope. But he's still a filthy kid. That's one thing that I tell the guys is like, dude, if something like if you can't play for some reason, and then like you're still a filthy kid, man. If you want to hop back on and like play some shows or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance that he'll be playing with us. He's gonna fly in for some other stuff, but he's also gonna play a show with us
Oh,
in
yeah.
San Luis Obispo. So
Yeah.
would be fun. Yeah, man. And then there was another time where
Hey, sorry, Johnny. Really quick.
yeah,
We're about to lose this
yeah,
Zoom, man. I don't know. I'm a little butthurt about it, but I'm about to lose you. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna stop this, and
for
then
sure.
we'll just kick off another one. I'm gonna abuse the system as much as I possibly.
Let's do it. Heck yeah. All right, dude.
Sorry about that. I'll call you right back.
For sure.
But sorry about that. Yeah, so so kick it back in. So we were talking about Scotty and how
Yep.
he ruined everyone's life by moving away, but
Yeah, dude, Scotty, he's super dope, man. Really, all the guys in the band are just so easy to work with, dude. I mean, I know that it's kind of a common thing where with bands, it's just like personalities can at times clash, but when you find a good combination of dudes that are just like they just want to have fun and put out good music and also have like the work ethic. It's crazy. I feel like we have a really good combination of dudes. But there was a show we were gonna play the Knockout, yeah, the Knockout in San Francisco,
okay.
and both and Nate couldn't make that show, and Scotty couldn't make that show either. So
Uh,
both our guitar players were not going to be able to do it. JJ was still in the band at this time, so there were some songs where if he's not on synth, he could play guitar, but we needed still the
right.
primary guitar.
Yeah.
And I had just met another buddy. His name's Alex. And he's a phenomenal guitar player and producer. And but I was like, dude, we had been like talking for a minute just about music and stuff like that. And I asked him like, bro, like, would you be down to like hop on the show with us with the Filthy Kids? And he said, yeah. And so he came out to a few actually just two practices. But he just, yeah, bro, he's just phenomenal. Like his music is just way more deeper than the Filthy Kids music. I mean, our stuff is like real simple, fun.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he's just like overqualified, but he's just phenomenal. He's got a project called Better Animal. You got to check it out. Better Animal, super dope, and I know they're gonna be putting out some music soon.
What do they
But yeah, so
like
Better Animal.
yeah, like what genre would you consider them to be?
Oh man, I don't even know. It's definitely like it's still indie, but it's a little bit more polished. Yeah, I don't even know what you would call it. I don't know if they
Dude,
describe anything on there.
I'm
It's
so
just
like genre, like identifying is like dude,
dude, there's so many subgenres.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's really good music though, and he was able to hop on that show, and so so he was like the later addition in terms of guitar, and so he played there, and we did another show in the Bay Area, and he was able to hop on for that. So there's times where our lineup looks different when we show up to a gig or whatever, and then the last one where so the last person that joined is Michael. So he's now on synth. He also guitar. So he's a guitarist, but he knows how to play the keys a little bit. So he was able to hop on the synth. Again, man, we just get lucky with really good personalities. He's like such a dope dude, just a person in general, and a great musician. So it's just worked out, man. So that's like the newest lineup is really that. It's Michael on synth, Alex on guitar, Nate on guitar, Javi on bass, Jason on drums, and myself, on jumping duty. That's pretty much my gig. Yeah, dude. So it's been cool. That's been the lineup, and yeah, super excited for the stuff we got coming up.
Yeah, no, me too, man. Yeah. Yeah, no, that whole story about Michael is super funny. So I'm just gonna throw my little two bit in with that.
Yeah.
Yes, he and we were it was me, my girlfriend, and her cousin, and we were at Five Window in Lodi, which is a brewery out here. I think it was my girlfriend's cousin was wearing like a knuckle puck crew neck or something like that, and he like looked at, he's like, you guys like it? And he just started like naming off like, you guys like the Wonder Years? We're like, fuck yeah, we start like going in on
Yeah.
that. Like, we just started talking about all this different stuff, and of course the alcohol was flowing. We were at a brewery, so
Yeah.
we were in it deep, and like we were best friends for like all but like 15 minutes, man. And then
That's hilarious.
I like, right, so so like I got his number and stuff. We were talking because he was working on another project at the time. I can't remember what it was called now, but he was doing that. And then I was telling him like, because I can't remember if we had released the album yet. Oh, I think we did. I think we released Homesick, because I was telling him, I was like, oh yeah, no, like I'm in the midst of that too right now. I was like, oh yeah. And I think he even pulled it up. He's like, all right, we're closing out, but I'm gonna check this out when I get home. I was like, oh, sick, man. Fast forward to when I was catching your show at Idol, I just happened to see him, and I'm like, oh, holy shit, that's the guy. I was like, that's the
It was
dude.
so funny because it was us three in little mini circle talking, and I'm like, I think I introduced him to you. I was like, hey, this is Michael. And you're like, are
Yeah,
you? And then you guys
yeah,
at that moment, I was like, whoa, that's so
yeah.
crazy.
That
That
was
was
so funny.
yeah, that was cool, man. That was a fun show. Idol, yeah, that was a cool venue, man.
Yeah,
Really, all the spots we've played at, man, they've been really great. But funny thing about that, or not funny thing, but you mentioned your record, Homesick.
mhm.
Is that also the title track?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay, because
yeah.
that's the track that I share with like most people. Because like
Oh,
I've told people about you guys, and I'm like, you got to hear this track, or like that's the one. I mean, you guys got a lot of great music, but for whatever reason, that one just was one of the earlier ones that I heard from you guys,
so,
and so yeah, man, super dope. Good,
yeah,
good music, man.
dude, thanks, man. Yeah, that one was predominantly written by Jason, our rhythm guitar player. I can't remember his buddy's name now, but he and a buddy, they kind of like they wrote it together. And then when Jason and I met, me and Jason met, I think in like 2020, something like that. But anyways, yeah, he that was like one of the things that he sent me, I think, because we were like, oh, we don't know each other. What do you sound like? You know what I mean? And then he like
Yeah,
sent me
yeah.
stuff, and I was like, oh shit. Like when I heard that one. And when it came time to like actually record it, we were kind of like trying to figure out like, well, what do we like name the album? And I was like, fuck it, let's just do like the classic, like name it after one of the tracks, and they're like, well, which one? And I was like, well, I had no part in writing Homesick, and that's probably my favorite one, and that might even be why, so let's use that. So we chose Homesick, and yeah, that's sick, man. I'm glad that other people are enjoying it. So it
Yeah.
really fucking means a lot, honestly. It's really cool.
No,
Yeah.
for sure, man. Yeah, music is that thing, man. Just brings people together. It's good times, man. It's funny. Like this isn't a segue, but like it is kind of so the new record that we're writing with the Filthy Kids is called Good Friends, Good Times.
Yeah.
Literally just because that's what it's felt like just doing all these shows. Like
Yep.
we're just meeting new people, they're good friends, and we're just having good times. Like it's just chill, man. And that's kind of the vibe of the new record. It's just a lot of good stuff, good feelings, and there's it's a blend of different emotions and stuff like that. But there's a lot of really like upbeat type stuff, just really just like
Yeah.
hanging out.
That's super cool. Yeah, yeah. No, you guys definitely have like a good blend of like uh how would you put it? Like I guess like deeper and like darker, like slow tunes that kind of like that, like make you like feel. And then you got like the upbeat shit where it's like, yo, I can party to this too.
Yeah, it's funny. Like if someone were to listen to "Hard to Say What I Need to Say," which is
Yeah.
one of the ones that a lot of people connect with, because it is a little bit like deeper in that sense. It's like more feelings, and
Yeah.
it's definitely like true. Like the song, like really with all the songs, it's never like just padded with fake stuff.
Yeah.
It's just genuine. But then if you listen to that, and then you listen to like Los Niños Sucios, which
Yeah.
is one of the latest single, it sounds like a whole different band and just the energy. But that's still kind of what I wanted to capture with the band. It's like not so much to get pigeonholed into one thing. It's just like whatever we put out, we put out.
Yeah.
And if people rock with us, they do. If they don't, they don't. That's cool.
Right.
Um,
That's
but yeah, just like
honestly.
yeah, dude, just a good range, of styles and sounds. Yeah, been fun, man.
So does it ever like when you're working on just Johnny music and or the Filthy Kids project, do they ever like kind of like clash? Do you ever have like a difficult time being, oh, this is more geared for just Johnny versus this is more geared for the Filthy Kids, you're like, man, I don't know where to put it. Cause like I feel like I've kind of done that myself a couple times. Like I was working on a hardcore project with some buddies a while back, and it was kind of the same thing. I was like, okay, lyrically, it makes more sense to go on the hardcore project, whereas like instrumentally maybe or melodically or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So is that something that you ever
Yeah.
experienced?
No, it's always very clear because I almost feel with both the Filthy Kids tracks and the way that we composed this last record was very much collaborative, and we can just chat about that too. But a lot of the times when I'm writing songs for either one, I write them on my phone. So I have like FL Studio, like super. I recommend that for anybody that makes music and you want to track your ideas. FL Studio is a great way to just like if you draw beats, if you like know how to like draw out your beats and kind of trigger sounds and stuff like that, they have like a cool flow. And so I'll make my stuff there. Ice Cream, Mosh Pit, 16-bit, all on Just Johnny. I've made those on my phone basically. Like I make them. I record the rough idea,
Yeah.
rough vocals on the phone within that app, and then I'll come to the studio and export the tracks, or sometimes remake the track,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Same with the Filthy Kid stuff. There's some tracks where not some, actually most of the record was at some point like on the phone. So for example, and all that to say that it's very clear to me what I'm writing because of the like what if I grab my guitar first, it's gonna be the Filthy Kids. If I go to make a beat first, it's gonna be Just Johnny. That's just the way it works.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's pretty clear because with the Just Johnny stuff, I really like the percussive element a lot more. Like that's what drives it. Like if you hear Mosh Pit, it's all 808 driven. It's just like it's meant for subs, like it's gonna bang if you got subs.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like even the higher tone instruments on that or like the melodies are an 808 at the higher range. So it's just like nuts or whatever. But so if I grab my guitar, I'll do Filthy Kid stuff. And so with some of the songs that we wrote, for example, there's one called Blah Blah Blah. JJ, our synth player, guitarist, he at that time he sent a riff, and it started off with like a cool ska like type riff, but then it went into like a heavy distorted
Yeah.
section, and I was like, bro, like this like first section plus this next one, like that's a song. He played a lot more dope stuff, but I'm like, this I really vibed with.
Sick.
So
Yeah.
then I got that. I threw it into FL Studio, threw like a simple beat over it, like what I picture the drums would be. Then I sent it to Scotty. I'm like, hey, bro, could you come up with a hook for this? So he came up with like something more pop punk type. So like the blend was dope.
Yeah.
And when you hear it, it's very cohesive. Like it doesn't sound like, oh, you're changing styles. It's all one thing.
Dang.
But we wrote a lot of the records just by text. Like, let me send you the file, you write your part. Same with Nate. He came up with a really it was for a track called it's Fallen. It's called Fallen. And yeah, man, so like all of that was really clear that this path was going to be the Filthy Kids because it was like guitar driven at first.
Man, that's sick. Yeah, it sounds to me like you got a pretty damn clear head, dude. Like I said, I feel like my shit gets so muddled up sometimes. I'm like, oh, I don't know where to put this. I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, I feel like I write in concepts too because like for example the latest release for Just Johnny, the Summer's Over, it was a sequence of tracks that were in that same vein with that same type of beat. And I just felt like that was the wave at that time for me to ride.
Yeah.
And so I wrote songs to those type of like beats, very moody and kind of chill, like not overproduced. I didn't go in and add all kinds of stuff. I just wanted a basic structure to say a few things.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is that that record, I literally, that's why I named it Summer's Over, the songs I forgot I wrote.
Yeah, I saw.
Because I forgot I had these. And I was actually talking to a friend, Adis, who's another. I'm producing her record. This one you want to check out later, and I'll connect with you on that. But Adis, I'm producing her first record, ARIS, but the S is a dollar sign. Super dope, like indie record. But I was talking to her and I was sharing some of the music and some of those tracks, and she's like, "Oh, why don't you release these?" And I was like, "Huh, I guess I should." She came up with the title "Summer's Over" because she said it had a summer vibe. And literally summer was about to be over. We're going into fall. And and it kind of went with the theme of like good times are over type thing. Cause like thematically with like lyrics on the songs, it's kind of got that vibe. So shout out to Addis for that. Like literally wasn't going to put it out. But with those tracks, it was very much that wave of I'm going to write in this style. So I'll write like in like little buckets of music. So sometimes it's like super 808 driven, like on JustJonnie, 16-bit, Mosh Pit, and I forget which other one were very much that way. So yeah, man, it's been fun just writing different styles and just, but it is pretty clear, like for me, what I'm gonna be writing, just what I'm feeling and what it feels like the best vehicle to say what I'm gonna say, you know?
Hard. Sometimes it's hard to say what you need to say, you know?
Yeah, man, I should write a song about that, man. It's a good idea.
A bad pun, dude. I'm probably gonna first episode drops. I'm gonna get canceled for that shit. Yeah.
That's hilarious, dude.
But so something I know this might be kind of like the more ugly side of music that a lot of people I think are afraid to talk about. But I wanted to talk about, so like I feel like you guys are really good at like marketing yourselves, right? For us, like when we played that show together in Rockland, you guys like released like a super cool, I mean, right? In such a simple concept too, where you were just talking like a recorded video, you know what I mean? Where you're talking about like, oh, we got a show coming up with these guys. That was something that like for me never even crossed my mind to do. I was just like, oh, cool. We post the flyer and see if our friends will come. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
you guys like fucking kill it when it comes to like marketing and like promoting yourselves and stuff like that. So I don't,
Yeah.
let's kind of get
That's a
kind of
that's a
but
it's hard for people to do. It's hard for people to do. I wouldn't say that we're like crazy good at it. I just feel like I try to make things as natural as possible, but also bring in like certain editing skills or whatever. For the most part, I feel like as the front man of a band or of a group, like just let people know who you are, like whatever your personality is, just like let it show. And not everybody has, of course, not everybody has the same personality, but I like being random. And so sometimes I'll just hit record. I don't know what I'm gonna say, but I know like the gist of it. It's like I'm gonna say, the date, venue, and whatever. And it seems to work, man, because it really is about like just hanging out, having a good time. I hope people really do enjoy themselves, So with marketing, I think it's something that is like a necessity, of course, just to be seen. Like you could have the best music, but the way that information drops, like on any like TikTok, IG, wherever, it's flooded. It's just inundated with all kinds of drops, releases. Everyone's putting out music. So there's kind of like a twofold mentality that I have with that, because I think you have to put out quick clips of like the band, like for sure, post all the pictures of like after a show, post some pictures, post a flyer before then. I'm really big on music videos too, and shooting them right now specifically for real. So I'm doing verticals. I've done horizontal stuff like also, but just really being intentional about capturing all that stuff and just staying on it. Like repost a story or repost a reel on your story. Like you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Like if you've already done something that was like to push the first record, put that back out in the front. There's new people that are maybe following you that haven't come across that. Because not everybody goes onto your account and looks at every single post. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's cool to get something from before, put it up at the top, and kind of run with that. And also invest in yourself. Like, run a paid ad or something on Instagram and market to, like, if you're going to go play a city, or maybe you haven't played there, you want to play there. Like put an ad, target that city, see what it does. You know what I mean? It's a matter of just having people come across your music, and it's not going to happen unless you're very intentional. Like the algorithm's not going to say, we think that this band wants to play here, so let's show it to. It's not going to happen. You got to be real strategic with that, and you'll experience this. Any artist will experience this, where you don't know who's listening. You don't really know who's rocking with you like that. Like
yeah.
one of the other projects that I had at one point, and I had people telling me from other states, like, man, I really listen to your music, and my family, we listen to your music. I'm like, do you really? Like it sounds like they're just trying to hype you up, but
Yeah.
like they do. It's like I play bands and like I rock like right now. One of my favorite bands is Phoenix, and they're that like French band, but like they singing English, Italian, French, whatever, Phoenix. And I listen to their stuff all the time. So it's like, it's true that people will really vibe with you if they really connect with the music. they'll do that. So I think it's good to continue marketing, promoting, because at some point it'll catch on, at least with a group. Sometimes it's slow and steady. Sometimes you'll see a boost like, whoa, this one really connected or whatever. So
Yeah, I still recall when we were like 6 months after our release, just some random dude in Sweden who'd been like, I think for a minute, like that was like where like most of our streams came from, was Sweden or so. I was like, does this dude just like fall asleep like with it on repeat or something? It's kind of funny.
that is crazy. But that's actually a good point, which is another thing that I suggest to anybody is like promote in other countries because it's weird, but the way that the marketing works, like say for example, you spend, I don't know, $100 on an ad and you promote in California or LA and Sacramento, for example, your reach is gonna be less and that dollar is gonna go further in other countries for whatever reason. So like more people listen to it for whatever reason that just works. A lot of artists actually blow up in other countries before they blow up in the States. Like if they're US based, that's happened with like some major artists where
Yeah.
you're like, whoa, how's that? Like everybody's about them in the US, but when you look back, it's like nobody was about them. Then this other country like realized, oh, these dudes are talented, and
Yeah.
then things blew up. So you never know, man. You guys might have to go do a show. Let's go do a show in Tokyo, Japan, man. I want to get out there, dude.
It up, dog. We're on.
Dude, heck yeah. Actually, I got a few buddies. I call them buddies because with anybody who listens to our music, it's just like I don't feel like it's like fans. It's just like you guys are friends, like to a degree, like you're not close friends where you're like hanging out, but
Yeah.
yeah. So some folks in Japan that listen to just Johnny music, so for a long time, yeah, and they're like, yeah, you should come out here and play. I was like, yeah, I want to go and do a show. Like, hook it up, let's do it.
Like, even just for the vacation, man, that's fucking sick.
Yeah, dude, for real. It's amazing out there. I mean, just like the pictures and yeah, the vibe is crazy.
All right, so well, shit. So, like I said, marketing master, musician, you name it, just artiste in general, right here, photographer. So outside of music, what do you get up to? Like, what are your hobbies? Are you super into beer? Do you like to camp? Are you like a under the radar professional wrestler or something sick like that? I don't know. What do you?
Dude, I retired my wrestling career. I retired, man, after that injury, bro. It was just like once they ripped the mask off of me, I was a luchador, and it just ruined my career, man. No, you know what? It's funny because I do feel like I'm just ultra consumed with the arts.
Yeah,
So I don't really think I have any hobbies.
music is.
Sleeping, I love naps, dude. I mean, that's my it's weird. So I could spend hours and hours at the studio, like literally putting out records. You know what I mean? Like that's what I do. But let's see what else. I mean, just hanging out in general. Taking like little trips to like I don't know San Francisco, like I mentioned, Napa, LA.
Are you
Yeah.
wine then? Do you ever check out the wineries out there? Anything like
You
that?
know what? I haven't done wine tasting. I do like wine, but I haven't done like wine tasting per se. I need to do that though, because like I've been to Napa so many times, but it's usually to go to like just walk around or like Yuntville. I don't know if you heard of that. That's like out there in that general region.
Yeah.
But just I like the cool vibes of like it's not city, but it's not like the woods. Even though that's cool too. I'm not big on camping or nothing like that, just because I just don't do it. But just to see like other like nice buildings, like the structures, architecture. Not that I know much of it, but it's just like when you can get away and just be at peace, I feel like it just refreshes you. So then when you go back to your craft, you're just coming up with this like coming from a different angle. So yeah, do sometimes just go to SF to for sure go eat some pupusas, got to do that, and then just go walk around. Yeah, dude, I'm probably gonna be your most boring guest because I don't have any other hobbies, man.
Out it, far from it. So then, okay, so when it comes to the studio that you're working at and stuff and or spending time at, so is that something that's like financially sustaining, or do you have a job outside of music that you do as well, or?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I do. I work for like a software company. It's called Microsoft. No, I'm kidding. No, uh, no. Me and Bill Gates. We're no, no.
Buds.
No. I do. Yeah, that's what I do. I work literally for the best company ever, but I don't want to share because then everyone's gonna work there, and then it's not gonna be my my pot of gold. But no, I'm super happy like with that because it doesn't feel like work, which is crazy. It's just like doing good work with good people. That's just kind of my life in general, dude. I feel like I'm really around a lot of great people. It puts me in a really good headspace to create. So like when you with your question about like here, is it like sustainable like with music? Like if I did it full time, which I've done it full time for a season where I was just producing and just cranking out records for people, it can definitely be great. But if anybody drops out, or if there's a season where there's not a lot of like, or if someone can't do it anymore, then it could put you in a hard situation.
Yeah.
So I decided that's not the route that I wanted to do. Plus, when it's just a job with audio engineering or recording, I feel like it drains the fun out of it. Like I
Yeah.
don't want it to be my number one thing that I go to. It's more like I want this to be my escape, and this is where I want to like spend my fun time. This is where I want to, really just be creative versus like I'm just doing this for the money. But it could be, obviously, and any musician knows it's expensive to make music, to create, to buy a simple microphone is like easily $1,500. A guitar, if you want anything quality, you're going to be spending like, a good amount of money. Especially with recording gear, man. I just got some new hardware, and it's not cheap. What I tell people all the time is like, dude, you only live once. So if you want to like, if you have a passion, like just go for it, dude. Just do it. Even if it's some people spend on cars, and it's like that's dope. Like that's your thing. It's you want to build up a car or buy like some like crazy vintage car. That's dope. For me, it's music and gear. It's like I want to have. I recently picked up some. I have to. Yeah, for anybody who's into music gear, some BAEs, the 1073s. It's kind of like a Neve 1073, which is same, pretty much the same build. So it's a preamp and EQ, so you can send your vocals through that. I use that for tracking drums on the Filthy Kids record, which on the drums, the overheads. And it's expensive, dude, but it's like it's very fulfilling for me to hear this record and how it's turning out, and I'm super excited to release it, for us to release this music because it's like we've all worked hard on it. Everybody played their parts and recorded their stuff, and for me, it's like I want to invest back into the music, so it's like the quality of it makes a big difference for me. So that's where my money goes, man. I don't eat. That's why I dress the way I dress, man, because I don't put any attention to it. Like a little Walmart shirt and a
Yeah.
$2 beanie.
There it is.
You know.
I'm so basic. I feel like my entire wardrobe just comes from like I'm wearing a Drain shirt. My buddy's in Resent. I'm wearing a Resent hat. Like my wardrobe is just like
Dude, yeah, supporting bands. I love band tees, man. Like, just yesterday I picked up. I saw a post from Checkpoint, super dope, like skate punk, but they're like phenomenal. Checkpoint, bro. Actually, Robert from Mayhem Nest Studio in Sacramento. I mean, he's a phenomenal engineer. Light the Way did the record there. That's how I found out about him. Anyway, but his band Checkpoint, they're super dope, man. And I saw a post of like one of their new shirts, or not, maybe I don't even know if it's new, but they posted. I was like, dude, I want to buy it. I just like picked it up. Just supporting bands, man. It's like people I think don't know how much it takes to like do what a band does and how much like all the hours that you spend on a project. Literally, I've been spending just so many hours in the studio for like a 2-minute song, you know what I mean? But there's so much that goes into it, from the tracking to the actual production and post production. I like to support, bands, especially if there's like bros in them. You know what I mean? That I rock with. That's always fun. So yeah, man, it's my
yeah.
wardrobe, man. Just supporting folks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you guys like straight up for us have been some of the most like you specifically and Scotty have been some of the most like supportive people that we've come across like as a band, honestly. And it's
That's
like a
dope.
lasting impression for sure, dude. Like I feel like anybody who does that, like yeah, it's fucking sick. But
Yeah, dude.
we're running low on time. We got 7 minutes left. Any last minute plugs you want to throw in upcoming shows?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think the last plug would be just our new record that's gonna be dropping pretty soon. Good Friends, Good Times. It's 12 new tracks. Well, one of them we already released, Los Niños Sucios. So we're gonna be dropping them as singles on Spotify and all that good stuff. But we're also gonna be pressing up vinyl because I love vinyl. And then this time around, I'm also going to put some on CDs, like as a little collector's thing, which is, if somebody has a CD player in their car, they can still pop that in. So yeah, man, just that's my plug, dude. That's what we've been working on. So that's going to be released pretty soon here. I'd like to say for sure before the year's over, we're going to be dropping the singles as they go. But the vinyl, man, that'd be super dope if folks want to come out to a show and support and pick one up. The next show we have, I don't know when this is airing, but it'll be in San Luis Obispo and SLO on November 9th. So I don't know when it's dropping, but yeah, that's gonna be we're gonna be focusing on just releasing this record, and then I'll be producing some other bands and stuff like that too. So it's gonna be always staying busy.
Oh yeah, dude, that's the way to do it. And last one, you got any words of advice for those who may be listening at home right now?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's into music, man, just do it. Like, don't try to write the perfect song. Just write a song. You're always gonna get better. You can get worse, maybe, but not really. I think you just keep going, man. I think that's like, again, you only live once. If you're passionate about it, you just do it, man. And talk to other bands. Talk to people. Like sometimes you may think someone's like too cool or something, but they're chill. And so get advice, talk to them, and it's a community, man. That's the one thing that I really appreciate about just like any of the rock based bands communities. It's just like being able to get advice, talk and hang out, meet some cool people. So that's it, man. But dude, thanks for having me on this podcast, dude. This is amazing. Being the first one. Definitely, man. Once I want to come back when,
Yeah.
once you're like big time, man. Just don't forget about me, bro. Just bring me back, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. Super stoked.
Shit. Well, thank you again, dude. I really appreciate it. And yeah, like I said, I want to throw this out. I think I might drop my 0 episode, which is just like the introduction one, and then I'll try to do this one. I'd like to do them the same day, just right. So you can go from the introduction of what it's about immediately into like the first episode. I think would be cool. So I'll yeah, thanks again, man. Really appreciate it. Jonnie Garcia, everybody.
Dope, man.
Check out
Thanks, dude. Fun times.
JustJonnie Music.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Heck yeah. Thanks, dude.
See you later.
Later.
So there it is. That was my conversation with my friend Jonnie Garcia of the Filthy Kids. If you haven't checked his stuff out yet, make sure you go and check it out on whatever streaming site you use. Before I play you guys out with some of his tunes, I want to give my own couple of shout outs real quick. First, I want to start with my girlfriend Bea for being as supportive as she has been during this whole thing, and creating the cover art that we got going on with this thing. I also want to give a big shout out to my friends at Ironside Muay Thai here in Lodi, California, Coach Matt and the whole crew over there. Want to give a shout out to my boy Josh Washburn, Travel and Shred. If you guys aren't following his Instagram page, make sure you go do that. Travel and Shred is doing some really sick shit. Want to give a shout out to my parents and my siblings. And want to give a shout out to my boys in Nothing Special, Jason, Mike, Phil, and Dylan. And probably the most important, I want to give you a shout out for tuning in and checking it out. Once again, thank you so much. It really does mean a lot. And yeah, here we go, guys. Without further ado, here is Toxic by JustJonnie.
You're so toxic.